Good morning, children. Welcome to Narayana Live Classes. Myself, Sanmesh. Today, we are going to discuss Class 8 Physics assignment, which was provided to you on 8th of July. This assignment is based on the topic Some Natural Phenomena. Let us begin. So, our question number 1 is: does Earth open up during an earthquake? Again, I repeat the question: does Earth open up during an earthquake? The answer is not. It is a very common misconception which comes from the Hollywood movies that during an earthquake there's a huge hole at the earth and it swallows everything. Actually, it does not happen. There is no such hole on the earth, but there are huge cracks. We can say that there are huge cracks which occur on the surface of the earth. Now, after a strong earthquake, some cracks may be seen on the ground. These cracks are probably due to the settlement caused by the ground shaking. But there is no huge holes on the earth. This does not happen during an earthquake. I hope children it is clear. So you should come out of that misconception that whenever there's an earthquake, there are huge holes on the earth. No, it does not happen. So let us proceed to our next question. Okay. Will more shocks be felt after a strong earthquake? Now, after a strong earthquake, for several hours, or even in some cases for even several days, people might feel small vibrations. Okay, even more shocks they can feel, but these shocks are smaller in vibration. Okay, there is nothing to worry about these shocks because these are the after effects of the earthquake. That does not mean again one more big earthquake is going to come. No, it does not happen. It is just due to the after an earthquake the crust they resettle themselves. Okay, in that resettling process there can be additional small shocks which is felt by the people. So, for several hours or even days after a strong felt earthquake, it is quite possible that people may feel shocks. Okay, this possibility always exists, but keep these four facts in mind. Now, what are these four facts? In most cases, these shocks will be smaller and therefore the vibrations will be weaker. So, the aftershocks are weaker in magnitude. Now, aftershocks do not mean that stronger earthquake is coming. It does not mean, or it do not mean that stronger earthquake is coming. Aftershocks are normal. They are normal. They show that Earth's crust is readjusting after the main earthquake. As I said, there is a resettlement or readjusting of the Earth's crust due to which we feel that aftershock. Now, the number of felt aftershock is quite variable and thus cannot be predicted. There might be several per day or only several per week. We cannot predict the number or the frequency of this aftershocks. It is completely random. Okay. I hope the point is clear, children. Let us proceed to our next question. Does a small earthquake mean that a larger earthquake is coming? The answer is again no. But in very few cases, the smaller earthquake is followed by a larger earthquake. Now, example can be taken of Canada. In Canada, they experience smaller earthquakes various times. Okay, but none of the earthquakes results in or I should not say none of the earthquakes, but very few of those earthquakes result in a larger earthquakes. Okay, but majority of these smaller earthquakes are not followed by the larger earthquakes. Now, every year, hundreds of earthquakes occur in Canada. Only very tiny minority of these precede a larger earthquake. Okay, so only small part of those earthquakes it results into a larger earthquake. Although larger earthquake may be preceded by foreshock. Okay, there can be a foreshock which is preceded by a larger earthquake. Now, the occurrence of the small earthquake is not itself a typical sign. But I will tell you one thing, students. The smaller earthquake, it can be a warning for the people to get alert that there is a possibility that there will be a larger earthquake. So it acts like an alarm clock. There will be a larger earthquake. You be alert. You be prepared. So smaller earthquakes, they act like an alert signal or the alarm signal before the larger earthquake. Even though all the small earthquakes does not result into a larger earthquake. I hope the point is clear, children. Hundreds of smaller earthquakes occur every year in Canada, whereas major earthquakes have occurred only few times in this century. All right, let us proceed to our next question. So question number 4 is, what was the greatest earthquake in the world history? Again, I repeat, what was the greatest earthquake in world history? I'll tell you, the greatest earthquake occurred in Chile in the year 1960. The actual date was May 22nd, 1960. It was such a tremendous earthquake, I'll tell you. We can figure it out from these values. The magnitude was 9.5 on Richter scale. Now, 9.5 is a tremendously energetic earthquake. Okay, it can destroy, it can cause major, very much destruction it can cause. Okay, large destruction it can cause. As we can see, it caused the death of around 2,000 people, more than 2,000 people in Chile. In addition to that, generating tsunami which propagated around the Pacific Ocean. Not only the earthquake, it created those tsunamis which again destroyed several things and killed much more people. So this was one of the dangerous earthquake or the greatest earthquake which occurred in the world history. It was in Chile on the date May 22nd, 1960. I hope the point is clear, children. Now, what should you do during an earthquake? Now, during an earthquake, what all things we can do? Now, earthquake usually it is dangerous because there are falling of objects. Okay. Now, falling of object pose greatest danger during major earthquake. Okay. In Canada, no house has ever collapsed during an earthquake. Okay. However, many types of object may fall and cause damage or injuries. Of the prime concern, there is a protection from falling objects such as framed pictures, light fixtures, plasters from ceilings, or the upper part of the walls or chimneys which may fall outside or through the roof in the house. So during an earthquake, we have to be very careful from these falling objects because they can cause much damage or injuries. Now, what are other things which we can do is, the first and foremost thing which we should do is stay calm and we should not panic, because that might worsen the things. Okay, that might make things much and much worse. So we should stay calm and we should not panic in any situation. Now, next thing, if you are indoors, stay there. Do not run outside. You could be hit by a flying debris or a bits of glass. So we should stay indoors only. Take cover under and hold onto a study desk, a table, a bed, or a stand in a door frame. Never use elevator. Never use elevator during an earthquake, because there might be a power failure or some power cut during an earthquake. So you might get stuck and there is no other way to go to escape from that earthquake. So it is very dangerous. We should not never use elevators during an earthquake. Now, if you are outdoors, then stay there. Do not run here and there. Keep away from the power lines and buildings. Okay. House chimneys are likely to topple during an earthquake. So we should stay away from that. Now, if you are in a vehicle, first thing we should do is you should stop and park it away from the building or any bridges or any overpasses, because there might be a danger of those buildings or bridges of collapsing. So we should park away from that. So these are the precautions which we should take during an earthquake. Now, next question. Now, what you should do after a strong earthquake? Now, during an earthquake, what all things we should do? We are clear. Now, after the earthquake, what all things we should do? For example, there's an earthquake and there is a mass destruction. After that, what all things we can do? First thing, again, very important point. That's why I've mentioned it in the beginning. Stay calm. Okay, we have to stay calm. We should not panic, because it will again worsen the things. It will make the things worse. So we should avoid getting panicked. Now, help injured if any. Speak calmly with the family members, especially children, about what has just happened in order to relieve their stress. Now, usually when the earthquake occurs, everyone is in a panic situation. So, first thing we should do is we should get calm and we should speak normally with our family members so that they should not panic. Okay, they should not panic. Now stay tuned to the radio and follow instructions. Now, whenever there is an earthquake, after an earthquake, you should switch on a radio so that they are giving the necessary instructions, what all things we are supposed to do. Okay, the government is giving necessary instructions through radio broadcasting that what all things we should do after an earthquake. Do not enter a damaged building. Now, why we should avoid entering a damaged building? Because for example, if the building is damaged, there might be some broken electrical circuit or live wire which is broken down, and we might come into the contact and we might get electrical shock. So we should avoid doing that. We should not enter a damaged building. There are other government bodies like fire brigade and uh, other government bodies whom we should call. First thing we should call is fire brigade. If someone is stuck in the damaged building or people are there inside injured, we should call fire brigade for their rescue. To prevent fire, check chimneys or have them checked before using furnace or fireplace. Check all gas lines, whether there is a leakage or not, or if the fire line or the gas lines are broken or not, because that might cause further damage. So after an earthquake, we should do all such things. We should first check whether everything is fine or not. Now, earthquakes can trigger huge ocean waves called as tsunamis. Sometimes tsunamis are followed by the earthquakes. The best warning is the earthquake itself, and the residents in the tsunami risk areas should be prepared to evacuate to higher grounds immediately. So, whenever there is an earthquake, and if the people are living in a tsunami prone area, they should be prepared to evacuate and to settle in the higher regions. For example, at least 10 meters above the sea level. Now, in case of large undersea earthquakes, we should do this. Okay, if there's a large undersea earthquake, we should quickly evacuate and go to the higher places. For example, at least 10 meters above the sea level. Now, again, stay tuned to your radio during disasters because there are necessary and important instructions which are getting broadcast through radio. So we have to follow the radio during that. I hope children, all the solutions are clear to you all. Thank you. Thank you so much.